Right now then, we are talking all about Guernsey artist Charles Senna. He is back with the perfect feel-good anthem. It is called Moving Up. It is our track of the week this week for BBC Music introducing across the Channel Islands. And if you missed it, I did play it earlier on, but if you have missed it, it sounds a little like this. Such a tune. We are loving it. The song is so different from Charles's folk style, from the folklore tale that came from his song The Wicker Man to his raw and vulnerable chill track For My Father. This song, Moving Up, is so infectious and gives us a feeling of looking ahead to the possibilities the future has. Charles and I got chatting over Zoom at the weekend to chat everything about his brand new track. So we're talking all about your latest track, which I listened to this morning. I've listened to it about 5 times. I love it. It's such a feel-good anthem. That's what I get from it when I'm listening to it. I feel like it's such a move from other songs that we've heard of yours that are equally as good. You know, we're thinking about The Wicker Man, My Father, you know, very sort of very different tracks. And now you've got this one, and it's like, it's funky, it's fun, it's like uplifting. I feel like when I first listened to it, I'd almost either got the job of my dreams and like life knew that life was going to be amazing, or I just quit a horrible job and was excited for the future. That's kind of how I felt, that I was kind of instantly transported to a place of like just self-belief and looking forward to the future. So that's what I got on this. Well,
first of all, that's totally in the spirit of the track. And I wanted to start out the new year with it because I think it was a nice way to give me momentum for the year, to start with the belief of moving up. It's a nice sentiment. But weirdly, this track is I produced it when I was back at uni, in my last year of uni, so I would have been about 20, could be like 6 years old. But mad. Mad. I produced it at uni, but I still kind of thought that like I never wanted to release it just because I wasn't ready then. And I only dug it up recently because I listened to the demo on my computer and was like, this is within an inch of being like release ready. I just knew what elements it was missing and arrangement wise what I needed to kind of finesse about it. And I also, this within my friendship group, this song kind of had a cult following, and they were all nudging me to release it, and have been over the years, but I never got around to it. So it was really, it was conceived in my last year of uni in 2000. When would that have been? Oh, that's frightening. Right back. wait, 2018. Wow. Okay, yeah. Wild. So this is an oldie, but it's an oldie, but I've rejigged it. Yeah. Yeah. No one says new. I've just realised. I mean, it feels really free and fun. I'm really glad that that's kind of what the purpose was of this. I mean, production-wise, how much of a challenge was it then? Because it sounds so free and effortless, but was it? You know, you've just said there that this was made back when you were at uni, and now years later you've come back to it. So there's a technical element to it, but it sounds so free. So how do you sort of do that? Like, how calculated is it, and how much is it just, experimentation? Weirdly enough, this was one of the first projects that I decided to ever start making and building in Ableton. I primarily work in Logic, but I also work in Ableton sometimes. And I was using it as a means to try and like work the thing out. And for that reason, I mean, ultimately those like audio workstations are just tools, and each one that you use, I feel, will have a different kind of color. And because I knew it was kind of like a sheen pop track and electronic, I wanted to dive into Ableton and kind of see where I'd end up using it. And then it was really just little arrangement bits later down the road when I listened to it. You know, missing a shaker, missing a little bit of a bit of depth, and just having the sections all fine tuned and make it make sense. So yeah, it was. And I also I remember distinctly. I've come full circle. Maybe that's the wrong metaphor, but like I constantly need to remind myself that less is more in music. The more ideas that I get about what I like and what's good, it's difficult to not want to
like overproduce
deploy all of your good stuff. And the reason I paused there is just because I had a ridiculous sidetrack thought of I've just gotten into making smoothies, but I'm kind of ruining them now because I'm like, I take everything that I think would be good in the smoothie mix, and I
apply it to the music as well. That's
I throw all the ingredients in there, and then it's just violently sweet because I have a really sweet tooth. So in the morning, I'm like, actually, this isn't good for me, and this is probably wouldn't fit the palate of everyone in the world. But I guess there's that kind of parallels my music. So yeah, gotta remind myself to keep things simple.
There you go, likening music to making smoothies. I love it. We're going to be hearing more from Charles Stenner, who is our Track of the Week artist this week, after this classic from SWV. We are catching up with Guernsey artist Charles Stenner, who is behind the perfect feel-good anthem. It's called Moving Up. It is his latest single. It's not even out yet, and we are already obsessed with it. Premiering it on the show. We've chosen it as our Track of the Week for BBC Music Introducing. Charles and I caught up on Zoom over the weekend to chat all about his music. I firstly asked him how moving back to Canada has inspired his music.
How has Canada inspired my music at the moment? So I could preface this with the fact that the last year for me has been one of my least creative years in as long as I can remember, mainly because of my efforts to like get my stuff out into the world. And it dragged me into this place where spending so long on Instagram and spending so long like making videos and tending to like how the music was received kind of for me just eroded like the purity and the simplicity of just like getting to make music.
Yeah, totally.
So one of my New Year's resolutions has been to get back in touch with that process. And being out here, I'm living on my own now for the first time, which I'm absolutely loving because I just get the space and the quiet to focus in on music. I've started building a little studio here, so I've bought myself some monitors. Previously, I'd been doing all of my music on headphones, which is a good skill, but also, man, music. It's meant to be felt. You're meant to like with the airwaves, just like vibrating and feeling the bass. Like it's good. And Whistler. I'm getting some gigs up here. Well, I mean, Whistler's not like. I mean, it's no London. If I was serious about trying to network and be at the heart of the music scene, then I probably would be in London. There's a real balance in my life between just being happy and living a life that has enough like substance to like fuel my music. Like I get to go snowboarding here and just living in nature is important to me, which I wouldn't get in the city. And those things were expressed in my music, and it's really obvious to me when that's lacking. So anyway, I'm a lot happier for being up here, and I think that's being reflected in my music. So
massively, like particularly this song, and I mean, and to come back to that as well, because it's so important that, you know, in anything, like we all have a social battery, right? We all have time where we need to kind of like, we're a bit like, sorry people, it's not really a vibe right now, need to recharge, I'll get back to you. It's like leave a message sort of thing. And I think sometimes overcrowding, you don't want to be around too many people sometimes, because that can dilute what you're making. It's like with anything, if I say was writing a book and I got loads and loads of people, sent it to all my mates, my manuscript to everyone, what do you think? I'd be that bashed by everyone's opinions that I'd probably lose the love of the book anyway. And that's the same with music. Like, you don't want to be too, well, I get the sense from you don't want to be too overcrowded, in the sense that you don't want to lose out on the whole point. And you found a nice sweet spot where you're on your road at the moment, you have your thoughts, you're able to do your own thing, and you're reflecting kind of this positivity without being washed over by anything else.
That's exactly
free.
it.
It sounds really freeing.
Yeah, well, music has always been freedom for me. It's always been there, like a best friend, or like it's just dependable. And I use it to be free and to get, I suppose, just express, be liberated.
2023 is going to be really exciting for you. I'm excited for you in the way that you are excited about the music and that you're looking forward to it, and it's reflecting a free and sounds like a really great creative time you're in, which is really exciting to sort of be able to see and hear. Going back to this track, Moving Up, what's going on with the vocals then? Was that a sample? Is that a feature? I can hear your voice in the actual track.
Yeah.
What's going on there? What was the decision to do there?
I went to a gig. There was a girl on the pop course called who I remember like hearing her sing at a couple of gigs and thinking, wow, like she's really on it. I'd love to. I mean, it's a perfect place to kind of like collaborate at uni, because everyone's music geeks and just looking to have fun.
An experiment. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I wrote the melody and the lyrics and messaged her saying, hey, I've got this tune, will you sing on it? It was like an hour session. I don't even know whether she must have listened to it over, but it was kind of effortless on her part, and she came in and laid it down, kind of nailed it, and here we are. We have the track.
I am so grateful that we do. Such a legend. We are obsessed with his new track. It is called Moving Up, and it is our track of the week for BBC Music introducing in the Channel Islands. If you missed it, I played it for you earlier around 6:20. I'll also be playing it every single night on this show, and we'll also pick it up on the big show itself Saturday night on the BBC Music introducing show. That was Guernsey artist Charles Stenner there, who is behind our track of the week. It's called Moving Up.